Installing a virtual machine to run Alma Linux and Crestron's VC-4 virtual control processor. Crestron's VC-4 software is designed to be installed in Red Hat Enterprise, Alma Linux, or Rocky Linux. It provides a virtual control processor for running Crestron applications. VirtualBox is an open source package that is lightweight and not resource intensive. If you already have VMware or Parallels, you can use those for your virtual machine instead of VirtualBox. The installation will be similar, but some steps will be different. Having VC-4 on your laptop provides functionality that Crestron programmers have been wanting for decades, the ability to run and test programs on your laptop without having access to physical hardware. Importantly, this allows you to code anywhere and immediately test your code. I know it's weird that Oracle supports an open source project, right? But they do, and VirtualBox is continued to enjoy continued development and regular releases. Thanks, mighty Oracle. As most Crestron programmers use Microsoft Windows or Apple Mac OS, we're assuming that you are using one of those platforms. Older Crestron software was Windows specific, but newer products are often available on both platforms. Go to the VirtualBox website and download the correct version for your platform. When it is completed downloading, also download the extension pack from the same webpage. Install VirtualBox, and once it is completed, go to Preferences, Extensions, and hit the Add button, which is the little plus sign and a greenish box icon, and select the extension pack you downloaded. Now let's grab a copy of Alma Linux. As of today, 8.6 is the current version of the 8 series for Alma Linux. The 9 series releases are not currently supported for VC-4. The virtual machine you are creating is an x86 64-bit machine, so select x86_64 and then the closest download site from the Downloads page. Then from the list of files you are shown, choose the minimal ISO version. Once the ISO is completed downloading, select New in the VirtualBox Manager window, enter a suitable name like Fred or Alma Linux or whatever, choose Linux for the type, and set the version to the Linux 2.6, 3.x, 4.x, 64-bit version. Then click Continue. For virtual machine settings, you'll want to set 4 gig of RAM, create a virtual hard disk, and the hard disk only needs to be about 8 gig in size. Once you have the entry in your VirtualBox control panel, click on the Start button. Since the virtual hard disk is empty, it should prompt you for the location of the startup disk. Select the ISO file you downloaded for Alma Linux. The virtual machine will boot up with a menu, so select the first choice, Install Alma Linux. This will take a little bit of time, but after the initial files are loaded, you will see a configuration page. Select your preferred language, create a root password, select the automatic partitioning scheme, and activate Ethernet. Once installation completes, follow the instructions to reboot the virtual machine, and after reboot you will get a standard Linux login prompt. Do you remember your root password? I hope so, as you'll now get to log into your very own Linux system. You are the super user. You are the supreme administrator. You are the master or mistress of your domain. Congrats! You are a deity among mere users. Don't let it go to your head. Let's make sure our Linux packages are reasonably up to date, so your first act upon your creation, type yum upgrade and answer yes to the prompts. This will upgrade your Linux packages to the latest versions. During the installation, VirtualBox likely configured your network interface in NAT mode, which allows you to get out to the internet through your host machine, but won't allow your host system to connect. So we'll go to the VirtualBox menu, Select Devices, Network, Attached to, and change NAT to Bridged Adapter. If you're still with me, you might have forgotten that we were going to install Crestron's VC-4. Fortunately, I have my notes here, and we can get to the good part. Go to the Crestron.com website and go to the resource library. You will need to be logged into the website to get to it. There is also a link to the resource library under the Support tab. Don't worry, I'm sure that Crestron will finish updates to their website any year now. Find the VC-4 server download and save the zip file to your system. We will use the secure copy command to copy over our zip file to the virtual machine. Open up a text console, terminal window, or command line window and go to your download directory. Then use SCP to copy the file using your root password to the virtual machine's temp directory. On your Alma Linux system, type yum install unzip to ensure that you have the unzipping tool. Unzip the file you copied over, which will unzip the archive into a VC-4 subdirectory. When it is complete, go into the directory and type /install vc4.sh and hit return to run the shell script for installation. Answer no to migrating from another build and choose defaults for the other questions. When asked to set a password for MariaDB, use the same root password you previously configured. VC-4 has a lot of ongoing development, so it is very helpful at this point to have the installation guide open in a browser. If the VC-4 installation was successful, you should now be able to open up the web address for the control console. Follow Crestron's remaining instructions for adjusting SNMP daemon and service parameters. If you are doing any CH5 development, make sure you also follow the steps for server hardening and secure deployment. So now you have your very own portable Crestron processor. Congrats! VC-4 is licensed software from Crestron, so you'll have a 90-day window to use it without any problems. But at the end of that period, you'll need an XIO cloud license for the install, or recreate your virtual machine and installation of VC-4. If you are a Crestron service provider or CSP, you are eligible for a development license. Check out the CSP portal at Crestron for details.